we go. Yay, it's not freezing up. Awesome. All right, good morning. How are we? We missed yesterday. I went to a Christmas party on Friday, and I was drinking blueberry wine, and so I didn't think it would be that intense, but I just can't handle alcohol, and so I was a little sick yesterday. But we're okay. We're going to make it through. We're allowed to make mistakes. So anyways, good morning. Let's go ahead and start off with a Christmas song today. And this is one of my favorites. We've listened to this one before, but I just love this one. All right. I Don't Mind the Cold by the Orcas. Here we go. Awesome. I think that's one of my favorites that I've played. That one and the 12 Days of Christmas, so we might play that one tomorrow. Tomorrow, I'm actually going to be moving the Sexy Sunrise show to 9 a.m. because we are going to be packing up and leaving, and I kind of wanted to do the last big shebang Christmas show that I'm going to be able to do right here in my studio tomorrow. So we're going to do 9 a.m. tomorrow for the Sexy Sunrise show. I'm actually going to set a reminder in here too that's going to start the live at exactly 9 a.m. Central Time. So I hope that you can make it if you usually join me. So good morning. We've got lots of stuff to talk about today. So welcome to the Sexy Sunrise Show. If you've never joined me here before, my name is Bianca Adelia. I have been a professional boudoir photographer for almost 6 years. And I started this show with the intention to rise to the next caliber of woman that I want to be, and I wanted to share this journey with you, and I use astrology in my own personal development journey. So I'm all about connecting and sharing through the journey that I'm on. So every single morning I take about 15 to 20 minutes. I set an intention for myself for the type of woman I want to show up as in the world today. There we go. So I set an intention for myself, and then we talk a little bit about astrology, my take on everything that's going on. I like to preface it with I'm not a professional boudoir, or I'm not a professional astrologer, but this stuff really, really fascinates me, and I'm actually in pursuit of like a real certification to actually do this. So let's take a look today. I hope everyone's doing good. Boop, boop, Astro Forecast. All right, let's check everything out. Because today we are at 29 degrees of Sagittarius. We've been in Sagittarius season for the past couple weeks, and this has really put an emphasis on evolving our social image and who we are in the world, who we want to be. So at 29 degrees Sagittarius, that means tomorrow we're going to be going into Capricorn, which are going to shake things up a little bit. Today the moon is in Pisces. So what this is going to do, Pisces is very dreamy, so this might give us a very receptive take on our emotions today, sensitivity to our surroundings, things like that. You may find that you may want to retreat a little bit just to figure out yourself, get back to yourself. Pisces is kind of this like, I always see kind of this like, it's like an expanding energy, but it's also kind of like a floating energy. So whenever I think about Pisces, sometimes depending on what your energies and what your natal chart looks like, I imagine it being a little bit confusing for some people because there's not like a direct focus. So we've got this like expansive floating energy in Pisces today that's making you very receptive to your surroundings. And so creating that, you might need to step back a little bit, but it also boosts your imagination and stuff like that. So we've got Mercury also at 29 degrees of Sagittarius, and we know that the Sun and Mercury has been working alongside and through the same house of like responsibility for the past couple weeks. So Mercury's in 29 degrees of Sagittarius right now, but Mercury will be transitioning into Capricorn today. Tomorrow the Sun will be transitioning into Capricorn, and they will still be in conjunction with each other. So their energies are still working together. So we've got the Sun or the Mercury in Sagittarius right now, which gives us this interest in other people's views. But tomorrow, when we see that Mercury and the Sun are in Capricorn, what this is going to kind of do, and you're going to start feeling it today with the Mercury transitioning into Capricorn today, is for the past couple of days we've had this interest in others' view. We've talked about how Mercury and Sagittarius made us very open to communication with people because we were very curious about other people's perceptions, and we've been gathering all this information in a non-biased way. So whether or not we agree with the information, we were still intrigued by it, and we were still pulling things in. We still wanted to know everything before we put our own spin on this collection of information that we've gotten. So with Mercury going into Capricorn today, I kind of feel like we've been in this really expansive gathering energy, and then going into Capricorn, it's going to be... So we're going to kind of close in a little bit. For some people, you might feel like a restriction on your thought process and stuff like that. Uranus is still in retrograde of Taurus, so we might feel this restriction on these ideas. We've been pulling all these ideas in, but Uranus and Taurus is not letting us actually pursue anything right now. Kind of the thing that I was thinking about is like, when you're driving on the highway, you're driving along and you're behind a car and you're like, I need to get past this car. So when you go to pass the car, sometimes what has happened is you check your mirrors and everything like that, and you go to pass, you notice there's a car in your blind spot. So this is kind of what we're seeing right now. Uranus and Taurus is going to be kind of that guy that's in the blind spot, and maybe this vehicle that you didn't see, maybe it's a car pulling like a bunch of cows. They're transporting cows, and the cows are like, are you sure that's what you want to do? So we've got this collection of ideas, and we've got Mars and Aries right now. So we've got this like pent up pressure going on. But when we go to like take action on that pressure, what we're seeing is like something's in our blind spot. We can't really move quite yet. So that's kind of the energy that we're going to be kind of feeling. And I know a lot of people have been talking about these grand things that are going on with the Saturn-Jupiter conjunction, and that's absolutely true. But we're still going to see these last left hooks going at us to make sure that the place that we're headed, this energy that the Saturn-Jupiter conjunction is trying to take us into, it wants to make sure first that we're ready for it. So with the next couple days and also tomorrow, we're going to feel this like impending pressure. We might want to make moves. We're moving into this new thought process, and I think a lot of us are kind of feeling it, but there's still this like, I can't go yet. There's somebody in my blind spot. And so this is going to be shown through the Venus is conjunct to Uranus, and we know that Uranus is retrograde in Taurus, and Venus is giving us that quest for the unknown, that wanting to move, that wanting to learn like what's going on. Maybe the Venus in Sagittarius is kind of like us checking all the mirrors to make sure everything is a go. We've gathered all the information, but when we go, that Mars and Aries energy that giving us that assertiveness to want to go, that Uranus and Taurus is the one that's blocking us. And so we're seeing this throughout the chart, all of this supporting evidence of this building up of pressure. We can't quite move yet. Lilith is also retrograde in Taurus. So Lilith retrograde in Taurus is really trying to make sure that the things that we have been wanting and the things that we want in the future are actually the things that we want at our own soul's level, and not outside sources of like what our parents wanted us to be, and things like that. So the conjunction happening tomorrow, super important, very much so pushing us into this higher level of thinking and these new innovative ideas and things like that. But Uranus and Taurus isn't quite ready yet, wants to make sure that we're solid before we start making all these moves. Tomorrow the sun goes into Capricorn, so that's also what gives us that enduring energy of like, even though we're feeling this pressure, and sometimes some of us can get really down by it and we're like, why is this happening to me? It can feel like you want to do all these things with your life, but it just can't happen right now, and you don't know why, and you think the universe is working against you. The Capricorn going into Sun tomorrow, and in Mercury with Capricorn giving us that enduring ability, is really going to give us that like, we'll make it. We can persevere. We can do this. Capricorn wants tangible results, and so Capricorn will keep going and keep going and keep going. So that's really good too if we start feeling these like impending doom kind of feelings going on with us, maybe like feeling like we're running out of time to be the person that we want to be, or we didn't start school soon enough, or we didn't start our business soon enough, we didn't get to the place that we wanted to live forever soon enough. All of these things we might be feeling right now. So let's check out here. That Mars and Aries energy also is expressing itself through the second house. So you do have this ability to kind of stand up for yourself, and kind of in an internal dialogue kind of way, you might really be curious of what exactly is going on inside of you. That Venus and Sagittarius energy is very adventurous, very, very on a quest for new knowledge. It's in the 9th house, so that is based on expressing itself through higher learning and things like that. So that Mars and Aries energy is also helping us figure out things about ourselves and letting us be okay with figuring out things about ourselves, because in the past we may have felt like we had to put ourselves on the back burner. That Mars and Aries energy through the second house is really giving us that supportive energy to stand up for ourselves. So another thing I wanted to talk about. So tomorrow we're talking about how we feel like we've got these blind energies. We want to do this assertiveness. We want to get into that other lane so we can pass this car and get where we think we want to go. But then Uranus and Taurus is stopping us. We kind of talked about that. So I want to emphasize on that. I want to emphasize on not letting that bring you down, that somebody's there. Sometimes we can get really impatient. I think road rage and things like that has a lot to do with how we actually react to things in a collective way in our life. So sometimes, we're behind the car and then we feel stuck, and now we're getting aggravated, and that aggravation is just building and building and building because this car is going the same speed limit that the car in front of you is going. So you feel you're trapped inside, and you know where you want to go, you just can't get there yet. So I want to emphasize on this, because with the aggravation that we might feel starting to build up inside of us, and Uranus and Taurus, that sometimes this can, Taurus takes on a lot. Taurus takes a lot in and then will explode. So we've got this building pressure going on, and I want to emphasize that the moon will be going into like a void of course. And that will be starting at like 4:25 a.m. on the 21st, on the day of this Saturn-Jupiter conjunction. And it will be in a void until about 4:32 p.m. Central Time tomorrow. So what's important to remember about today, with us feeling that aggravation maybe of like we want to go somewhere and we feel like we're just kind of like can't really move right now, relax into that, and let yourself be open to more ideas. With that moon in Pisces, we've got this really receptive, emotional, supportive energy. So instead of getting aggravated, we want to realize that, like, man, this is awesome that I have this energy going on, that I want to do these things with myself. I can't move right now, but how amazing is it that I'm feeling this rush of energy? And then with Pisces being receptive to their surroundings, let yourself be open to new information, because as that moon goes into a void tonight, when the moon is going void, so it's not really lined up perfectly with anything, that's when we kind of feel like time is standing still. And it's also not a time to like make any moves or anything like that. The sun moving into Capricorn tomorrow, that's really going to give us that, like, we want to start moving. We're ready to see the results of all this stuff that we've went through. And maybe we've addressed a lot of things in ourselves. Maybe we have overcome lots of obstacles. And now we want to know why this stuff was happening. We want to know what the next level us looks like. We're ready for that. So with the moon going void until about 4:32 Central Time, when the moon is void, it's not really a good time to start making moves, to start any new projects or anything like that. So it's going to be super important to just stay receptive to everything. That Saturn and Jupiter conjunction is really going to be boosting all of these innovative ideas and really, really pushing us to up level in an intellectual way. The moon's going to be moving into Aries when it pops out of that void, of course, so you're going to start feeling this assertive action. So let yourself kind of rest in this receptive energy for a little bit. Gather, maybe there's some other ideas that the universe wants you to receive before you start moving along. You think you're ready, but we really want to remember that, like, the universe has our back. The universe is always trying to teach us. The universe, God, our spirit guides, whatever it is that you call these things, it wants the best for us. And it's trying to show us that last little bit of information, because it might be something that we really need to pay attention to when we start getting this assertive action. So that's what's going on in the Astro Forecast today. Thank you so much for joining me this morning. I want to keep this one super short. Tomorrow we're going to talk more about the Saturn-Jupiter conjunction. The sun's going to be going into that Capricorn sign, and lots of other things. So thank you for your time. Thank you for hanging out with me. Thank you for sharing this journey. And I'm always sending so much love to the woman that you're going to be today, tomorrow, and today and tomorrow, and the next day after that. All right. Sending love. Bye.